Welcome back, guys. It is episode 6 of the Hot Mess Espresso podcast. And enough of you have mentioned that my voice is soothing and comforting, so we press on with the episodes. This week, it's the prequel to the episodes that several of you have requested. So let's get into it. Relationships. Most of us have been in one. Most of us have horror stories about them. But with borderline, it's just a constant nightmare. I'm sure dating us isn't the most fun, but for now, let's talk about our end of things. For one, BPD is a disorder rooted in attachment trauma, one way or another. So for us, we tend to basically beyond latch onto our significant others. We love you like there's no tomorrow, but it can be difficult to understand that our people need breaks away from us. You take forever to text back, we think you hate us. You want plans with other people, we think you hate us. You do anything that doesn't involve us, you guessed it. Hate, double hate, loathe entirely. Yes, I just quoted from How the Grinch Stole Christmas. It works, all right. It sounds exhausting on the normal end, but it's so much worse for us. We know how our brains should work. We know that you're just doing normal things and that space is good. We hate that we have a hair trigger rejection sensitivity. It's a constant struggle to be the chill person when our brain workup is literally anything but. And in this era of dating, where being as unattached as possible is the norm, Lord-D. It's like hell was hand-delivered to our front door. And we haven't even gotten into splitting. You can love someone like no other one day, and then you wake up the next feeling nothing. It's honestly a perk for breakups. It really is. You just kind of wake up and you're like, meh, I'm over that person. I don't care about them anymore. You could be right in front of me and I don't give a shit. But when you're in the middle of a functioning relationship, or for me, marriage, it's really tough. It's hard to sell. You kind of wonder if you'll get that feeling back in a few days or if it's permanent. Case in point, I had a split for 2 months, and yes, for those wondering, those can last that long, where I just despised everything about my husband. I was done. I was ready to leave. And then literally at 3:16 p.m. on a random Friday in January, it all came flooding back. Everything was fine. I was completely in love with him again. I didn't recognize why I had felt the way that I had the last 2 months. It was just like that never existed, which, great, right? No. It wasn't great because we spent the next 5 months rebuilding the bridge around the literal fucking moat that had been dug in those two. Self-destructive is a borderline's middle name, and when we think someone's pulling away, we'll be the first to leave or just completely blow up a good thing to become a self-fulfilling prophecy. While we do whatever it takes to feel safe, our brains are always telling us we are safest alone. And that makes no sense. Why would we do that? Because nobody can hurt us, and better yet, we cannot hurt anyone if we're alone. Honestly, for me, I feel like I'm fighting every single day to keep my relationship normal, and it's not easy. The splitting can be bad, but so can the rage. Good Lord. I can get angry. It feels like a constant battle of not giving into it too much, and I feel like I'm mostly on the losing end 99.9% of the time. I have my limits, but I don't feel like they're enough most days. I'm constantly worried about how it's affecting my husband, and the guilt spirals into the need to leave so I can just quit risking him hitting his limit and leaving me. Sorry, guys, it's a lot to process, so the words are not really coming to me today. I mean, it really doesn't matter how much he tells me he won't, or that when I'm regulated, I feel so incredibly safe. I still don't believe any of it. It's a hell I wish on absolutely nobody. I wish more than anything I could shut it off and enjoy my relationship, but it's almost impossible. I'm always worried and scared that I'm finally going to be destructive enough. Like, this rage episode will be the one that finally does it. Maybe I'm better off on my own. It's honestly beyond exhausting. I'm exhausted, and when we have months of being in a good place, it's always in the back of my mind that a split is going to happen at any moment. And then I'm stuck spending the next however long basically fighting for my life and my marriage until things circle back. And then, of course, that comes with the worry of wondering how much damage will be caused before it comes full circle again. I'm honestly not saying dating or marrying someone with BPD means that you should put up with all of this, but what I am saying is this is how our brains work. We wish they didn't work this way. We wish we were normal. So just please have a little bit of patience and grace. But I will say abusive behavior is never okay. If someone you're dating is using the excuse, oh, that's just my BPD, teehee, it's bullshit. Abusive behaviors, unfortunately, will happen. I don't want to say the luck of the draw, but it's the luck of the draw, especially with the rage episodes with BPD. But it's also never okay to be physically violent. I'm not giving people a pass, I promise. However, if they are going to therapy, doing their best to be self-aware and they're communicating, patience goes a long way. Obviously, you as a non-BPD person need to protect your peace at the end of the day, but us self-aware boardies, we're fucking trying. And with that, that is the episode for this week. I'm going to go take a little bit of a long nap and probably cry a little because this might be my hardest episode to script and to talk about. But next week, we have our very first guest on the podcast. My husband is joining us to talk about his perspective on being married to me. Yikes. And we're going to talk all things relationships. It'll be a couple of episodes, and it is my most highly requested, so you will not want to miss this. Until next time, kids, stay hot and stay messy.